there is a way to solve the problem of suffering, to solve the predicament of dualism, to realize the non-dual reality. And there is several paths to do this. And there is basically two paths. And this is described, for instance, in the Bhagavad Gita, that there is the path of knowledge called Jnana Yoga, and there is the path of action called Karma Yoga. And so in the Bhagavad Gita, it's if you read the second chapter, it starts with Krishna giving this, Arjuna is this warrior, and he's standing in the middle of a battlefield, and he's have this breakdown because he realizes that it's all his family and friends who is in the other side, and he's going to go to war, and he doesn't want to kill, and he gets confused, and Krishna is his guide and going to help him. And so they have this dialogue in front of this, just before this battle going to start. This is, of course, a symbolic story, because the battle is the battle in our own minds, and Krishna is this divine guidance here, who's trying to straighten Arjuna out, so Arjuna know what to do and how to act. And so, but what Krishna starts out doing is to give this thunder talk on non-dualism, and he just puts it straight to Arjuna, says that the wise grieves neither for the living nor the dead, which you need to have this view implemented in order to understand that there is no grief in dying, in the same way as there is no grief in a light bulb, that a light bulb doesn't work anymore. You just change it to another. So if you identify with consciousness and who you really are, life and death is not that big deal. It's just two sides of the same coin, and you're unaffected by life and death. It doesn't, consciousness is unaffected. But anyway, but this is the start of the Bhagavad Gita, that this non-dual worldview is being presented, and Krishna is giving the knowledge directly to Arjuna. But the problem is that, so this is the knowledge path. This is, if you can understand ignorance, you can understand who you are, you can become free. That's the direct path, knowledge path, okay? But Arjuna, he doesn't get it, which most people don't. And because we're still identified by being a person, still identified by being this body, the thoughts, feelings, and so on, and we're still, deeply ignorant and deeply connected to the dualistic world. This is how you experience the world, dualistic. And so, therefore, Krishna comes up with a second teaching, and the second teaching is Karma Yoga, the yoga of action. And so, in the yoga of action, you accept that the world is dualistic. You accept that, okay, this is the rules that we're going to play by. We're going to play by the dualistic rules. So how then are you going to act? Then you will have a different spiritual path. Simple as that. And so then there is these two paths. You can either go directly straight to the path of knowledge, and not very many people are qualified for that. And so therefore, as most people should do Karma Yoga, the yoga of action. You could divide Karma Yoga into two other paths, which is the path of love and devotion, Bhakti Yoga, and also the path of Raj Yoga, which is the yoga of techniques. And so, but they are all actions too. If you light candles and you pray and you sing for God and so on, and you live with devotion, it's also a form of action, which is also based on dualism, but which is also inherent in most religions. Most religions are completely dualistic. Like Christianity, there is a fundamental separation between God and the human and me, and that's dualism. That God is something outside of me, or I am something outside of God. No, in a non-dual perspective, there is no separation between me and God. I am God, I'm an expression of God. There is nothing that is not God. Reality is God is just in another form. That's all. God has two forms. As unmanifested, and manifested. And so, but anyway, so that's the knowledge perspective. But we're in the dualistic world now, and therefore we are karma yogis. We should do the path of action, and then there is certain rules for how the karma yoga works, and basically it is try to do your actions as an offering, leaving no traces in what you do, and trying to remove the ego out of the picture. That's very difficult because the whole dualistic approach is this identification and clinging to being an ego. So karma yoga is basically to offer your actions to God, but you can just saying try to work without leaving traces. Just do what is necessary. Can you like an animal? Like animals are instinctive. They just do what is necessary to do. They live out dharma. They live out the life force. And so if we can live spontaneously and free, we will not do harm. But we do harm all the time because all our actions is motivated through the ego and creates disturbance. So that's our predicament. So karma yoga is instructions for how to act in the world, simple as that, and as a way to liberations. But it's and also Bhakti yoga and Raj yoga, which is the techniques like yoga, meditation, relaxation, concentration, and so on, singing mantras and whatever. So there is many paths that you can do in order to liberate yourself, in order to find freedom. But as I say, basically two paths: the path of yoga, path of knowledge, and the path of action. And the path of action is a preparation for the understanding. And so when the mind becomes clear, the mind becomes calm, when the ego is kind of reduced and you can see things as they are, the mind will open to this understanding. And that is the foundation of all spiritual practice. And so find out, but most people, very few people can go to the direct path because there is so many subconscious patterns that needs to be worked out through meditation, through practice, through self-reflection, through self-inquiry, and so on. So it's a longer process. And so we're mostly are karma yogis because we live in the dualistic world and we have to play by the rules in this world. As long as we believe that this world is real, we have to play by the rules of the world.